Hello, thank you for joining me. It's me again, Stephen Englander, which you already know, otherwise you wouldn't be tuning in. We've had an interesting day today at the office because we're in the middle of moving to a bigger studio. So we've been going up and down, trying to measure things and get things ready. So the studio is great, the new studio, because we've got a whole event centre as well. So be expecting to come to some events and certainly be invited to them. But I've also, apart from being very busy having meetings and pretending I know what I'm talking about, I've also been a bit confused today because we had a client back in around 2013. Around 2013, he closed his business down, and I think he retired. And he was on the phone today because all of a sudden he's had a reminder that he's got an £8,000 tax bill outstanding. I'm not going to give any names, John, so they won't know it's you. But the thing is, £8,000, and they're not even sure, the HMRC, when we spoke to them, they're not sure what it's for, because when we checked the online account, we couldn't find any monies due. And then when we looked a bit further, it seems that everything's all paid up and all returns were filed, and I know they were because we did them. So my thought process is it from before we acted for the client, but we acted for the client for about 10 years. So we're talking about a situation that could have gone on 20, 25 years ago. And HMRC are looking into it to find out when the tax is from. But this has come from nowhere. And the worry is that HMRC have now raised the statute of limitations to 50 years. So that means any time in the last 50 years, if you've got any tax owing or any interest owing or any penalties owing, they can start coming after you. And I've never seen this before, but now they are coming after people. So if you do have any letters from people from HMRC and they say that you've got a tax bill and you don't remember having any tax bill, that they're on this course now of chasing tax up. So hopefully you will have records to prove that you paid this stuff. My gut feeling is that this particular debt is either an error and they're being a bit overzealous in collecting it, or it could be something from a couple of decades ago where records are sketchy for mere mortals like us. So do be aware now. It's more important than ever to keep records straight, and you'd expect me to say this, but I am a bit concerned, especially in light of making tax digital, where everybody now, if you're in business, are going to have to file quarterly accounts, not annual accounts, which is a great burden. But believe you me, the penalties for getting it wrong are quite bad, and we do need to talk to you. In fact, this is going to be our first event. So on November the 24th, which is a Wednesday, we're going to have a special talk show, a live event where we're hoping people come down to our studio, and we're going to talk in real terms about making tax digital and this overzealous collection of outstanding tax that can go back 50 years. And we will be looking into how you deal with this and how we go forward. So I thought I'd just start the show with a bit of an ominous warning, because it's something that I've been worried about, and I don't like to see grown men in tears. It's bad enough I've had Graham running around all day in short trousers in tears. Yeah, sorry.
You're going to have to adjust the short. You see, you're showing your thing here because I've got long trousers on.
Show me.
And you know what? It disgusts me that you've not looked at my legs once to confirm that. You just
it's true.
Resting on your short trousers and nonsense.
I'm so used to looking away. Yeah, I know.
I've got beautiful dark combats on.
Well, go on. Let's get a clip on them.
No, you're all right. You're going to have to tune in at 10 for that. Hey, Duke Braxey is very happy that you actually are Stephen Englander.
Well, who did he think I was?
I don't know, but he says it's awesome that you're Stephen Englander.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Colin says hello as well.
Yeah.
He's always here. Thank
Hi,
you very
Colin.
much.
Thanks for saying hello.
We've got Mark as well. And
yes,
would you like a question that you haven't prepped for, knowing that you might not know the answer?
From this lot. Go on. Try me.
This is from WB 1990. That might be a bit small on your screen there, so I'll read it for you. It says, "Hey lads, can you please ask Stephen what is the situation with paying tax?"
Do you know, one of the notes that I've got down here, because I hate cryptocurrency. I think it's such an artificial type, and I think it's going to get kicked out.
Wait.
I'm going to come. I'll answer the question.
Let me read the question.
I've just read it. Oh, sorry, I read it online.
For the podcast, Stephen.
Okay.
Anyone listening to this has just heard you jump in, yeah? I know it's...
Honestly,
So
I
do
haven't
you
got
have
as
to
much
pay-
life left as you.
Do you have to pay tax on cryptocurrency profits?
Of course you do. What? Yeah. And let me just come back to that. The way cryptocurrency, like anything, when the profit crystallizes. I mean, if you buy cryptocurrency and you buy it for £10,000 and then it goes up to £11,000, you don't pay tax. But it's when you cash it in, you do pay tax. And that's something that we were talking about before. Well, we weren't talking about it. I was telling you about it because it's a bit complicated. You know what do you call MasterCard?
Yes.
They've come up now that they can support cryptocurrency.
What does that mean, though? How are they supporting it?
This is what I don't understand. I mean, you give me these basic one-liners to talk about and think I know it all. But with money can be anything. I mean, if I had £10 notes from the Bank of Accounts Direct, if you trusted that currency, that it'd be accepted currency. There's no law that says you can't have your own currency. But it's whether people trust it or not. We all trust the government. Well, we trust it enough to accept the currency.
Don't speak for me on that.
If I gave you £10,000 in cash, would you accept it?
That doesn't mean I trust the government.
Of course it does, because why else would you take the money? It's government backed, so you trust it. So you're talking shit, honestly.
No, I'm not talking shit.
You're not?
No, because that 10,000 would be worth less the next day because the government keeps flooding bonds and inflating everything massively. So I don't trust them. Be worth £9,000 in a year.
Does that mean I'd have to pay you?
As if you do anyway.
I'll pay you in Hovis.
Oh my God!
What about bread? I'll pay.
Do you know what?
I'll pay you in cat food.
You're worth more than what you're giving me now, mate.
Of course you are. Always will be. I hope. But no. So with Mastercard, if they one good thing that props up currency, it's cryptocurrency. Anything is the fact that we can spend it. The fact that people will take it. So if Mastercard are now saying you can deposit coins with them, and they will allow you to spend it, then that's great. That bolsters the value of cryptocurrency. My thought, and I must look into this, is if a value is created when it's crystallized, then surely when cryptocurrency becomes crystallized, i.e. it becomes money, so you can spend it, is that when it's taxable? So I must look into that. Did you get that? Okay, I know if you get it,
I haven't a clue what you're on about, mate.
Right.
As soon as you talk money,
if you've got cryptocurrency, then and it increases in value.
I'm not going to say on camera whether or not I do have cryptocurrency.
No, but if one has cryptocurrency and it increases in value, by the way, Graham, saying things like that online makes it very suspicious. But if you've got cryptocurrency and it increases in value, you don't pay tax on that increase until you crystallize that, until it becomes money. So £10,000 worth of cryptocurrency has no value until it turns into cash.
And Duke's saying here as well that you balance winnings and losses and stuff like that.
Well, that's a different thing. Yeah. That makes it more acceptable to gamble on cryptocurrency and the stock market and everything else. But in the main, so when you've got MasterCard that's now saying we will accept the currency, my thought process is going, well, if they're doing that effectively, they're giving it a value and turning it into cash, so therefore there might be a problem that way. So I wonder how MasterCard would be dealing with that. What? I don't know.
People are asking why Hayden looks so different tonight.
That's what Hayden used to look like 80 years ago. No, this is Charlie. Say hello, Charlie.
Hi.
Charlie's our new head of social media and PR. So he's come to see what it feels like being in front of a camera. So anyway, the next one, is there any more questions before I move on?
No, you're done now.
Thank you. What I thought I would mention, though, is in today's, furlough's coming to an end, and profits are possibly down a bit at the moment, and there's all these price hikes and everything. It's worth going online and having a look to see if there's any benefits available. I mean, I know we've been looking through some accounts of people because we've been getting returns filed, and there are quite a few companies that they've been earning less than minimum wage this year. So it might be an idea to look at benefits. Just go online and type in benefits and see what you can get. I mean, there's all sorts there was one the other day that I didn't know, that was death bereavement. If someone that you rely on dies, you can claim either a capital cost or an ongoing payment for a certain amount of time. I'm not saying to go out and poison anyone, but there's all sorts of benefits out there that it's definitely worthwhile going and looking. I won't go on about benefits too much, but what I was looking at, coming away from benefits and looking at influencers, because I would rather promote a business and make it bigger and more profitable than look for ways of saving money and claiming benefits. That's not your policy, is it, Graham?
Have you got $1 million kicking about? Because PewDiePie, I'll give you a shout out for $1 million.
What's PewDiePie? PewDiePie
he's a YouTuber, really big popular YouTuber. You don't know PewDiePie? No. Give him $1 million and he'll go, my accountant is great, Stephen.
For £1 million? Yeah.
Be worth it.
Do you know what? Do you know influencers?
Awful.
I'm not sure how they work in business. I know they've got value, and I know in the olden days we used to rely on Sean Connery or somebody to promote our goods. In fact, do you know in the early 80s? Do you know I bought a Lotus?
Yeah.
A Lotus sports
I didn't
car.
know that.
I did, and it was mainly based on James Bond. Well, it was Roger Moore when he had this Lotus. I decided because James Bond had one, I wanted one.
That's why I used to date models, but it's not worth the fuss.
No, but they do what?
Because of James Bond. I saw him with his girls on the beach and I thought, I'm going to get a bit of that. But they're all mental. Stay away.
I know. That's women in general.
Not that my current partner isn't wondrously beautiful.
No. Must be something wrong with her, though. Anyway, so I think, how do we find influencers? Well, again, if you go online and there's some software, there's one called Upworks, I think. I'm not sure how much it is, so do check the prices, but they will help you find and manage influencers for your products. I mean, it's not a bad way of promoting a brand, because people do tend to copy people that they know. It's just that I look at a lot of influencers and they're doing funny dances on TikTok, and I think, oh no, not for me. But there are. It's worth looking into, if nothing else. I think. Are we going to look into influencers, Charlie?
Potentially.
Yeah, everything's got value. I mean, you can have networking is a good one, because don't forget that if you're in business, even if you've just got a corner shop, you're selling products and you're selling service. You need to let people know. You need to be out there. So when you go home at 5 o'clock and you've put the shutters down, it's not the end of the day. You should be out there letting people know that you've got these products, and if you've got your own brand in them, even better. But remember that at the moment, one thing COVID has taught us is that things can sell very, very well without actually having the shop open. I know a couple of takeaways, and it doesn't just apply to takeaways, that have actually shut the doors. They're still operating from the premises, just cooking the food and serving it, because it's less hassle serving people when they come into the takeaway. So and it's the same if you think of all the stuff that's sold online through your website or whatever. It just proves that you can sell things without bricks and mortar shop. But you should be your ambassador. You should be out there talking to people all the time. But if you don't like networking, you don't like networking, and then sometimes it's where to go. And I was talking to a guy the other day that's very, very big with promoting BNI. BNI is another one of these networking clubs. I'm not a big fan, because I don't like these forced networks. I don't like paying money for networking, but I've created my own networking channels, and I'm so big and popular that people seek me out. So we don't need to go to BNI. BNI come to me.
Have you put this story in just so you can brag about your little watery chat you had the other day?
Just remind me.
When that fella just was like, "You're Stephen England, right?"
Oh, that's getting into. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got into a jacuzzi. I did. And in a health club, and this young man said, "I need to come and speak to an accountant. It's all right, come and talk to you." And I thought, yeah, of course you can. But then I thought, how did he know I was an accountant? So he must have seen me online. So yeah, it proves it's there. It's all gaining traction. It's all it's all there. I will show you how to do it. You can use our facilities. We'll always help you. So that
that's take me to the jacuzzi, Stephen, and teach me the ways.
Put you in the sink, can't I? Really? You could go in the sink.
And I just don't know what to do. But I feel
you still bath in a tin can thing, don't you?
I'm just about hairy enough now where I feel I could be comfortable in one of those environments.
You're not making me comfortable.
Sit there, and I can lie and say I finished work early.
You're not making me comfortable. And if I saw someone like you coming to a club, I'd join a different one. Unreal. So you gave me this note that, Charlie had to tell you was last year's about Malaysia returning 150 containers of waste to France.
Yeah, it's gone.
It was last year's, but you had to have someone nearly half your age come and tell you that was last year's story. However, it does say to me that why do we have to do these things anyway? And this brings me on to the gas problems and the CO2 shortages and all this. I think it's nonsense. I think it's either capitalisation to try and hike prices or force you into alternative products, or our problem is the supply chain. That this country is so reliant on overseas supplies that we've lost a little bit of our own supply chain. Which again, it's go and look what's needed and go and supply it yourself, or try and find alternatives yourself. That's the way I deal with things. If I can't do something, can't compete, I'll do something different.
Here we go. Here's us getting boosted now.
Go on.
Of all the issues that people had with Donald Trump, one of the good things that he did was an effort to actually bolster their own internal supplies.
He wouldn't let people open abroad, would they?
Move
the factories abroad.
People tried to move abroad. They'd say the thing, and ultimately, they were energy. They had so much energy. They were selling it externally. They were completely independent. I wish we were in that situation right now.
But, we could be quite easily, because England's always been quite a self-sufficient country. I went down to London on Saturday, and the amount of shops, the amount of small businesses in that area, and you could see it was buzzing. So if I can work there, I don't know why I can't work anywhere else. So we are quite capable. But, when you've got energy firms collapsing, like what they call Avro Energy, 1.5 million customers affected, there's got to be opportunity to do things properly. And it is down to the supply chain. Do you know what I read, Graham, that I thought was quite interesting? I don't know if you find it interesting. They're giving those VR helmets to cows in Russia.
Why on earth would they want to play Minecraft, Stephen?
Well, apparently, I don't know if they're playing Minecraft, but apparently the cows in the field are the happier. You can tell by the way they say moo. They go moo, but they're happier and the milk's better. So it's a big thing now of everyone being happy. So I'm thinking, maybe we'll get virtual, what they called virtual.
Dude, I've been trying to hit you up for a VR room for about 6 months now.
No, get VR spectacles for everybody that works for us.
Yeah.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
You know what? I completely agree. And you know what? This time next week, me and Charlie are going to provide all the evidence that if you've got virtual desktops, it improves your workflow.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to do that. We need to do 100%. That.
Do it.
VR spectacles.
Do it. I've got enough.
Everywhere.
We've got enough to contend with that there might be a 4-day week coming. What do you think of a 4-day week? Do you think we'll get any work done?
It's all based on a lie and a scam. It is. The whole
Sweden.
thing.
Was it Sweden?
It was Iceland.
Iceland.
And it wasn't a 4-day week. It gets repeated.
That's not Iceland, the supermarket, is it?
No, it's the country. They brought the biggest change was bringing 45-hour weeks down to 41 or 40.
Stupid.
Most people had an hour knocked off their week.
Oh, they should take it back up to 60. Get rid of minimum wage.
And everyone just reported it as 4-day week.
I didn't see anything wrong with slave labour and sweatshops.
I know. You know what? You're trying to play it off as a joke.
No, I'm not joking.
No, you're
I think
not.
People, of course, apart from Accounts Direct, where everybody works very hard and gets the jobs out like that, quality and quantity. But a 4-day week, there were times when it was a 6-day week, 7-day week. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with a 4-day week. I just think it needs to be properly managed, because I think, unfortunately, the people that are productive, for every person that's productive on a 4-day week and working from home, there's probably a hell of a lot more that are pissing around on a 4-day week. And can you imagine all those hospital visits that they could make on the day off, but they'll still go on during the week? But it's a matter of management. It really is a matter of management. What do you think? Good, strong management. In fact, I've got in the audience my office manager.
Yeah.
She's a bit scary and horrible, but I'll just ask her, what do you think of a 4-day week?
No, never happening.
No, she hates everybody just as much as me. No. But can you imagine a 4-day week not managed? Can you imagine people not working properly they're working from home. Can you imagine production? I mean, we'd really be in the shit, wouldn't we? I mean, the country would really go to the dogs. I'll get 1,000 people saying, that, how dare you say that I'm bone idle and lazy. But what we must do, if we're heading towards this world of snowflakey 4-day week and counselling just because there might be early one day, we do need to set our systems in place. And that's something that is massively undervalued, under process in most companies, where they actually say, well, what's the system for even opening the door? Years ago, I remember having this government body in to see that we had the right services, the right procedures in place for having YTS people. Youth. It was like a government thing where they got young people into work. And one of the things we had to do was give the process for everything, like how do they go, where do they go to the toilet, what time can they go to the toilet, where do we keep the toilet roll, when does it need changing? And I thought, oh, for God's sake! But you can see it, can't you? Yeah. I mean, you've had experience of this.
When I worked for the council,
with toilet paper.
When I worked for the council, they were very, very strict about 10-minute break every so many hours and all that. But because I was working with homeless people, I was doing one-to-one counselling with them and stuff. I did all my meetings outside, so I could smoke as much as I wanted. Come on, lads.
I'm trying to show how we need to put systems in place, and you're talking about skiving work.
No, I wasn't skiving. I was doing all the work, but I could also smoke at the same time. I was adapting myself.
I was just saying systems for dealing with the processing and orders, systems for accounting, systems for this, systems for that. And I think if we get our systems right, we can look at what we call key performance indicators, and we can check them off, like how many jobs has that person done this week? How many customers have they served this week? How many times have they sneezed this week? I mean, if you want to take your infected, disease-ridden body and take it outside, that'd be good.
I know I'm getting really worried here. I've managed to dodge any seriousness in terms of the last year and a half. And I've got a full-on plague victim next to me.
Go on, sneeze on him.
I know, he has done a couple of times. He puts his hand there.
Disgusting.
He puts his hand there and it all comes sideways at me.
I was going that way.
He's got white powder there. Just move it. What else have you given me to talk about here? So we've got you're going on before. You wanted to ask me something that Tony from The Sopranos.
Yeah, I'm gutted about
because I don't watch this.
Yeah,
I should watch it because it's a gangster. He's a gangster mob gangster.
Yeah. So Tony Soprano is in New Jersey and he runs the mafioso there, and
Right.
they're doing a prequel called The Many Saints of Newark.
Okay.
And the way that Tony Soprano covers his tracks legally is he runs waste collection services. And I was just wondering, were you not the fine, upstanding, honourable, honest, by-the-line accountant that you are, and you were sat opposite Tony Soprano, would you have any advice for him?
You mean as opposed to having a waste business, to have a laundry business?
Yeah, if you were just like murdering on the side and doing all that stuff, then what would you do about it all?
Government contracts.
Government contracts. You know what? That would be the perfect fit.
It would, wouldn't it? But a lot of gangsters do run their businesses very well when you think about it. I mean, the amount of organisation they must have to know who to pay, where to go, and where it's still supply and demand, isn't it?
You know what? I guarantee you that if they made The Sopranos today, he would be in the green energy area.
Yeah, they would, and they would be accountants.
Yeah, he'd be putting windmills and solar plants.
And you don't need to be mobsters because you get the right grants from the government and know who to talk to about it there. Then you do okay. You've had enough today, haven't you?
You're projecting again, right? Because you went, and then told me I'm fine. I'm all buzzing on my Red Bull. I saved it for the show, so I'm all hyped now.
I'm really looking forward to getting our events going.
Yes.
I find generally in business that if you're face-to-face with people, you develop relationships, people get the message.
End of November.
I want anybody to come. I'm not going to charge you for it yet. But I do feel that we started the show with this business about the 50-year, go back in time and see what tax you haven't paid, and the zealousness that the government are going back and doing this with. And I just want to make sure people understand making tax digital and how it's going to impact them, because it is going to impact people. You know, a lot of firms, the bigger firms, are already getting used to it now, but this is going to impact a lot of people. I think we need to talk about it face to face. So anyway, that's it on my show. We'll be promoting the tickets pretty soon. Come and have a coffee with us and come and say hello properly. So we've come to the end of the show. It's been quite quick tonight. It's gone by really fast. And thank you for joining me. I'm here if you want me. Good night. Bye-bye.